Y'all, something's wrong with Poodle's taint. Something's wrong.
I bought a Peloton because I'm a basic bitch like all y'all out there.
Tell them what your Peloton name is because they're going to want to follow you.
You don't have to follow me.
Is it Piano Cat at Peloton?
No, it should have been. It's Jake It or Fake It, the same thing.
Oh.
I didn't choose a crazy like new Peloton name. I don't have the creative space.
I don't either.
I am Jake It or Fake It. So you can follow me if you like. I think I need to get my picture on there and something. But I did it yesterday and my taint hurts. If you're not familiar with a taint, you can Google it.
Carl, what's a taint? Is that a paint color, Carl? Do they sell it over at Cook's Paint, Carl?
It's like a part of a toolkit. You know, it's not the wrench, it's not the screwdriver, it's the taint. You use it to level floors.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
It hurt though, and like it's just like the edge of it, and I think something's wrong with my seat. I think
that's what I was going to suggest, but I'm really actually more like to say something's wrong with your taint.
I had a problem when I was teaching. I had a problem sitting down.
Maybe it's sore just because it got, I got worked out the other day. It'd been a while.
It's fine. You know what? That area can run a mile.
Are you sure? Because Mr. Penis opened that door. And they heard, hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Sugar it.
It's fine.
And then suddenly the dick went inside, and like in a magic, all the kerosene lamps just all flew open. They all came to light. The windows flew open, and Poodle got fucked.
It hasn't happened again. Just so you know, it's been recent. I don't know. We might have another lockdown here, so it may have to.
It's getting worse.
As soon as the shop was open, it looks like it's going to be closed for repairs.
You know what? It's too bad you didn't get COVID and live through it, because then you could have if you had antibodies, you could be like, "Come fuck me." You'd have like 3 months of fucking.
That's my screen name would be COVID fuck. You can't give me anything I haven't had. I've had it all.
You know what's amazing to me is what if some people that act, what if some of these Plathville people actually are like, oh, there's a podcast about us. Let me listen to this show. Right now, Lydia is just sobbing, trying to hit her phone going, no.
Yeah. I seriously doubt that anyone with the name 90 Day Gays wants to look at Plathville, except for Moriah. Moriah loves all the gays, she said.
And Olivia. And I think Micah's probably into it after this shower scene.
Ethan probably would really enjoy the show.
I think Ethan would be so comfortable with us because he's so just himself. It would make us uncomfortable.
Yeah, he would laugh the whole time.
I think you would feel like you were like,
I would just flop down and give him a BJ right there.
Okay, well, let's jump into the show, everybody. Y'all, this is
Plathville.
This is Plathville, season 2, episode 2.
Mystery Man.
I was going to let you say it because I knew you wanted to say it.
Mystery Man.
How do we want to do this? I guess we can kind of talk about how it went. It kind of makes sense, I guess.
I think we can do it by character because they split everybody up pretty well.
Split up. Okay. Who would you like to start with, Poodle Boudreaux?
Well, how it normally starts, Micah.
Okay, Micah.
So Micah, he said, "I'm going to have a really hot, sexy photo shoot."
Kind of have a hot, sexy photo shoot in Tallahassee.
Those two words don't belong together in any way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you're from Tallahassee, y'all. There's a lot of strip malls there.
A lot. I've never been. Maybe is it nice? Because we read Tampa and Bill Bulwer came for us and said Tampa's beautiful.
No. Tallahassee is nothing like Tampa. No.
Because Tallahassee's not on the beach, is it? Or is it?
No.
It's inland, landlocked?
It's inland. I don't know if it's landlocked. You're asking me a lot of questions about a city I don't know a ton about, and people are going to jump down my fucking throat anyway.
That's true.
So you just said we were talking about Tallahassee.
We were talking about Tallahassee, but y'all, we got interrupted. And I have to say, Poodle is such a good friend because Poodle hates interruptions. Like he cannot stand it. But because we get interrupted because
I can't say anything because
a hospital's calling about my dad having cancer, I just say, I'm sorry, there's a call. And I just see inside, I see his eyes go, but on the outside, he just goes, okay. It's a good friend.
But your cancerous father, anything dealing with him, I would have, as my mother said, 40 duck fits about it.
Anyway, let's talk about something sadder than my father with cancer. Well, let's go back to Tallahassee. Yeah.
I went because I auditioned at FSU because I thought I might want to do my master's.
Is that where FSU is?
Yeah.
Oh.
Even my mother, it's the capital. So even my mother was looking around going, God, this is gross.
It's a good music school.
It is. It's a college town. That I didn't want to be a college town.
Oh.
I mean, I'm sure there are parts of it that I did not see that were lovely, but lots of combo tan and nail places.
Oh,
that I saw.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, and before I shit on Tallahassee anymore, the big city.
Yeah, we're gonna get letters.
He's gonna have a hot and sexy photo shoot. He's gonna broaden. He's like, I broaden my horizons with every shoot. I'll broaden your horizons.
Helena's Helena,
his friend that he met from modeling. This is such an excuse for a really weird and classless photo shoot.
I mean, maybe the pictures look great. I mean, I love that. I mean, y'all, first of all, this is a photo shoot in a hotel room.
Like a Hyatt.
Yes, it's a Hyatt in Tallahassee. This could have gone many ways.
Executive suites.
Many, many, many ways.
Yeah.
Because when they said photo, I was like, oh, this is great. And Helena's like, yeah, we got some crazy ideas. And I went, you're shooting a shoot in a hotel shower. That's not crazy. But you know what? Maybe the photos look great. I don't know. I mean, Micah does make good model face. But even before we get to there, Helena says, what are your ideas?
I also wanted to talk about the headboard on this bed.
Oh, Jesus.
It was white and plastic. And there was something, it looked so porny to me. Like
it all looked porny.
Yeah.
Do y'all know how many amateur porn videos I've seen of some guy getting stealthed? Some guy getting stealthed at the Hyatt.
What's stealthed?
Oh, you don't know what that is? You know what?
No.
I think you should Google it. It's not. I one time was like browsing on porn. I was like, what is this? And it kind of horrified me. I just recently learned it. I'm not really into it. It's scary. Okay.
Stealth.
I'll just tell you.
Stealthed meaning. It's removing the act of a condom during sex without the consent of the partner?
Yes.
Oh my!
That's horrible. But this video, I was like, what is this stealth thing? Sure, y'all, because y'all Poodle and I will say, we'll try anything once. But then I learned
what it was. Awful.
This is horrible. It's like giving people diseases.
That's awful.
I know. I mean, the guy had a huge dick that stealthed him, but still.
I cannot support this.
No, like they'll like rip the hole in the condom and it rips. It's horrible.
That's sexual assault.
But it looked
assault.
It looked it looked just like this hotel room, and I'm telling you,
let's move on because I'm really uncomfortable. I'm really upset. That's sexual assault.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
If someone does that for you guys, if someone does that
with them.
That's sexual assault.
Sue them.
Yeah. Anyway,
don't have sex in hotel rooms like this. But anyway, Helena's like they're talking. She's like, "So what are your ideas?" And Michael's like, "Anything hot."
Yeah. And she's like, "I've got some ideas." He's like, "Oh, really?" And this is like really bad flirting because he learned from Papa Plath.
No,
obviously.
I think he learned from like Bob the Builder. Like I don't think Paw Patrol. He does not.
Or Daffy Duck. How Daffy Duck flirts with women.
Or when Daffy Duck flirted with the Bugs Bunny dressed as a woman.
Dressed as a woman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey there, looking very special with those ears.
Nah, fuck off, Doc.
I'm gonna suck my duck cock.
Fuck off, Doc. Fuck off. We just ruined Looney Tunes. You just said duck cock. Anyway, y'all, but it is, again, it's the way Micah is flirting is much like the dialogue in porn.
Oh, it's really bad. I think he's maybe watched some porn to get, he's like, yeah, I'm into anything you're doing.
He has watched porn. And so, anyway, he's like, I'm in a hot photo shoot with a steamy girl. He's steamy. The vernacular that he uses to describe like sexual, erotic things is totally like from like y'all, because his mother let him watch like the raciest thing they could watch was like Frankie Avalon and Annette Funicello beach movies.
Beach Party. Yeah. That makes sense, actually.
Yeah. Any moment he's going to be like, she is groovy.
And then at the end, they would have a prayer meeting about how to deal with it. So he does say, she says, the first time I met you, you were so shy. And he's like, I'm not shy anymore. And he's like, it looks like I'm about to get some. That's kind of what the photo shoot's supposed to look like. And he's like, I think I've gone all the way, like 180 degrees in a positive direction. And I would like to point out that it's neither positive or negative. It's just 180 degrees.
But at least he got 180 degrees.
Not a 360 like Chevelle. From Love Up to Lock Up.
So that's two shows now that are doing.
She's wearing this awful dress.
Okay.
It took my breath away how awful it was.
It was horrible. She looks like a model that's in the ads for the Stratosphere in Las Vegas.
It was one of those tie dresses that didn't fit around her boobs really well. And she had tan lines on. It's and like that's how you knew this wasn't a professional shoot.
It was a professional. Y'all, the woman that did her makeup needs to be taken out and having a talk to.
It was that Southern makeup.
It was that Southern makeup. I just saw someone watching. And my daddy was watching Family Feud, and there was a family from Arkansas on it, and this woman's name was Randa, and that's exactly what her makeup. No, her name was Randa. She's like, Randa, we're gonna win.
Anyway, that the foundation is so thick, and they've covered everything, and it's a little too dark for their skin.
Yes.
And
the lipstick is bright red, and not just red, but it has that red hint with fuchsia.
Yeah,
it was
it's not good.
And her eyeshadow, y'all, something they really like make the dark brown in the creases, but then like a lot. It was just not. Helena, and I think you're a beautiful woman with a beautiful name. Let me do your makeup.
Because when they showed her when she wasn't in full makeup, she was very like fresh faced, normal looking.
Yes.
Yeah. When you're young, when you're that age, you don't need to put on fucking pancake makeup.
No.
But people did that. People did that where I grew up. Like what women did that.
They should have done on her like a really pretty kind of like a smoky eyeliner, but then like a lighter on her lid, and then they should have done just a pretty like pink bronze blush, and then just a beautiful nude lip.
When you say you're implying there was some type of makeup crew, not just a black guy holding the camera.
No, there was. Remember, there was a woman. There was a woman that came in. There was a makeup. No, that's what I'm saying. There was an actual makeup artist, y'all. This was not. No, Helena did not do her own makeup. Now, I will say, Helena seems like a fine model, but y'all, Micah, like, I don't know what he channels in whenever he's modeling, but his modeling face, it's hot. Do you feel like his whole face changes?
Yes, he knows how to smolder. He's got it.
He's because when you talk, you're like, oh, he's really cute. But then when he does model face, he looks like 5 years older in a top. Where before he looks like a goofy bottom.
Speaking your language, It kind of looks all of a sudden like a Herb Ritz, like someone who would be like a Herb Ritz.
Yeah, so Bruce Weber.
So he's got that kind of look to his face that would like do really well with black and white.
Y'all, mark our words. Micah is going to be in a calendar holding a football with like dirt on him.
And I will buy said calendar.
Du le stade or whatever. How many calendars did you sell of that?
Boy, we used to have that at the bookstore. Gods of the Stadium with French rugby players, Dieu de Stade. And it was just them like showering and then kind of being like fake gay with one another. And it was all in black and white. And they were
it made you think it was artistic if it was in black and white.
It wasn't. It was just them playing kind of hyper gay with one another, but it was hot as fuck.
Now, like 20 gay people, I posted links there, and I have to admit, he is pretty. All my gay friends are freaking out. There's some magazine in Europe called like Yummy, and there's this guy. I don't know if you've seen him. He used to be a math teacher. He's Italian. His name is like
Pietro Bastelli.
He's exactly.
Y'all,
all the gays know him because he is so well. Have you seen he's on the cover of his magazine and you can see his dick?
No, I can't believe he hasn't shown a peen yet.
Oh, and he has long hair and it looks kind of. This photo took me somewhere, y'all. It took me somewhere. Gorgeous. Are you going to look it up right now? You are, aren't you?
I'm going to finish the podcast and look it up, and then
sure
up into an interior room. So. He's wearing, you guys, a tux with no shirt,
yes,
which is always a classy look, you know, and like these sexy glances. But I will say he does have a model look to him. It kind of works.
Unless Helena talks about her boobs in front of him. And then he completely breaks down and turns into a 4-year-old.
I think it was interesting too. And Helena's like, I have an idea. He's like, let's get someone on the bed. So all of a sudden she's calling the shots. It was a weird idea. I thought the guy behind the camera was calling the shots.
I think they hired a photographer and makeup artist for Craigslist because they both want to fuck.
Yeah. It was a weird thing.
Think about this. How many times, and be honest, has Poodle Boudreaux posted a fake photo shoot? How many times? Looking, what did your Craigslist ad say for that when you were looking for models for a photo shoot?
Looking for models, lack of shame a plus. Don't be shameful about your body.
Don't be. And Mike is not either. And so and she says the word pillow talk, and he's like, "What's pillow talk? What's pillow talk?"
The bed's messy, and then you like put the pillowcases on it.
No, she's like, after you have intercourse with someone, it's called pillow talk.
I have not heard the word intercourse made sound so filthy in so long. You know, after you have intercourse, and he's like, oh.
Not since Nurse Jan said it when I was in 5th grade.
But yes, sexual intercourse.
When she said intercourse, Micah's face, the color drained from his face because it was going to his dick. Yeah. But still, like, I don't know. I also, too, it's like, I know he's trying to be professional, but does Micah not know that models rub up and down each other all the time, and it means nothing to them once you are like dead inside and you're used to doing it? But because it's his first time, I mean, you remember like
he's 19. He's been sheltered his whole fucking life.
I know. It's a little bit like, I mean, people still do this, but I remember when you first come out gay. This didn't happen when you first come out the gay, but there is, if you're a sheltered gay, you kind of like from a small town, you kind of don't know, like anytime you meet somebody else gay, there is like, wait a minute, should we fuck? Like,
what's the protocol here?
Do we need to make out? Because you don't know. And also, Lockie,
I kind of skip that step. I just kind of go.
Oh, not me. I was from Lone Grove, Oklahoma, and I didn't know anybody. And so then when I came out in college, and I still knew no one, and I met one gay guy who was a Latin drag queen, and I was like, I think we have to have sex, but I don't know how this is going to happen because for some reason I feel more like a kinship, and I didn't know that was sisterhood. Cut to 6 months later, we both blew the same guy the same night in the bathroom at different times.
Wow.
The Rose Room in Village.
That's like seeing a shooting star.
It really was. We came around and we saw each other for who we were. And she even said, she was like, girl,
wipe the dick off your mouth.
Like, girl, he got a nice dick. And I said, really? And 30 minutes later, there I am. like that hot dog guy at the Dodgers games.
Like sands to the hourglass. These are the gays of our lives. So Micah is, he's kind of like, they're talking about pillow talk. It's like, oh, it's the sex you have after you have sex. Okay. So she has his tux on. He's shirtless. And I wrote down, this is bad. This is bad photos.
The styling and the theme of this shoot, of the progression. This is not Annie Leibovitz work here.
No.
This is more like some guy named like Lamar Leibovitz.
Yeah, this is
Gary Leibovitz.
This is not any type of good fashion shoot. Definitely not Annie Leibovitz.
Some guy named Ron Ronald taking. Yeah.
This is disturbing. So he's talking about. He said the camera guy goes, well, who wants to get wet? And he's like, I want to get wet. And so
then that's when Poodle went, oh my.
Oh, I already am wet. He proceeds to get in the shower and touch himself. I wrote down, I see peen. I see penis.
I mean, I feel like Micah has very nice big balls.
It
just looks very bulbous.
He has very big balls. The penis is all right. The penis
gonna be fine.
The penis is not going to make anyone unhappy.
It's not going to be like a penis we're going to talk about later.
No, it's no, definitely not.
No, but it's baby making balls.
Definitely,
because those plasts, y'all, they're fertile. Lydia just threw her phone across the room with, no, Mom, make it stop, I can't, no.
So then he says, Molly has helped maybe to become who I am. And then I didn't get the soaping up in the boxers. I didn't get it.
I mean, if you're going to do it.
Yeah. I
might as well go whole hog. You know what?
Why would anyone do that?
Micah, I just want to say, you're going to have a better career if you commit to your craft.
And by whole hog, we mean raw gay sex.
Listen, when you're an American model, you get in that shower and you get those underwears and you get it all wet. It's just dripping. It's just plop.
I bind you, BGL. Go away.
It's like that rain shower song in Bambi. It's wet everywhere. You're drip dropping because you can't stop it. Boss.
You just ruined that song for everyone. I'm begging you to stop.
Drip, drip, drop. Little April shower. But with me, it's always April because I raw dog that, Micah. You want to raw dog that model shoot. Baby girl Lisa, out.
Oh, I never want to see her again or hear her. She's so filthy. So that's all I've kind of got about him. He has one little thing with her later where he's doing handstands. Talk to
Moriah later, but yeah, it's kind of that's his thing.
Let's talk about the father-son really sweet moment where we're clearing trees to make the pool. Now, I will remind you, this is an above-ground pool. It's not a nice. No.
They're moving the pool from the farm to the new house.
Yes. And again, Papa Plath always feels like he's on camera. So he always feels like he has to narrate, almost like he's, I don't know. It's this like, well, you're a very hard worker, Isaac. Blah, blah, blah. And it turns out that Papa Plath has been thinking, maybe I did do something wrong with not telling them about sex early enough. So maybe this is the time I can do it. And I kind of went, my stomach started like condensing under itself.
Gargle.
Yeah. And he's like, but I think instead of talking about this, We need to make this Plathville, another episode of Plathville Theater. Ding 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 ding.
Y'all, we're gonna have a theme song next week because I'm gonna see Poodle.
Who do you want to play? I wasn't sure about this. Do you have one way or the other?
I'm really torn on this one because I see both of our skill set for this. I feel like
I was leaning.
Do you have an inkling? Oh, okay, go ahead. I don't have a leaning.
All right. I think this could go either way.
Okay. You know what? If you get into inappropriateness and it's wrong, we'll just switch.
We'll have to switch soon then. I don't know.
Imagine two men sitting on a tree stump. Again, not like that porn I saw called Oklahoma, where a guy had sex over a tree stump. It's a father and son. Again,
an actual father and son.
Not that porn I saw.
Porn.
So it's a father and son sitting on a tree stump, having the talk. Birds are chirping. Sun is shining.
There's a dog barking in the background, just like here.
And scene. Dad, sure it's fun working with you, Dad.
Son, I wanted to talk to you.
Yeah, Pop.
Hi, Micah's been dating a number of girls. Do you know that? Do you know what girls are, Micah? Do you know what girls are? Season a big change for him. Kind of like how spring moves into summer and summer moves into fall.
Dad, this sounds like that. This
moves into pubic hair.
What? Dad, is this... This reminds me of that song.
I'm sorry, I'm going about this all wrong.
Yeah, this reminds me of that. That sounds like that song from that TV show, the one with the woman has a baby out of wedlock and they're sisters, but they're girls. We can't watch that show, Dad.
No. That describes about 90% of the shows that are on television right now, son. That's why I don't let you watch them.
I think it's called Gilmore Girls, but I don't know.
That one. We pray for her nightly.
I haven't put my hand in my pants to any of those scenes at all, Daddy.
You know what? And they talk too fast in that show. It's got to be against God's will sometimes.
It's true. I thought it was sinful. Jesus talks slow, Dad.
You know who's really got the good idea on that show?
Who?
The mayor. What's his name? Taylor. He's really got things. He's really got things in hand.
Dad, he's fat. That's gluttony.
Speaking of things in hand, I want to really talk to you. Do you have any questions about girls, son? You know, the opposite sex? Or things that are happening to you right now? Like when you get excited and it feels like there's a bunch of little lizards just running around in your stomach, and all of a sudden one of the lizards just like spits something out.
Dad, I'm gonna be honest, I have been thinking about a couple girls. I've been following women's professional soccer.
Stop that right now.
But Dad,
You'll have girls plenty of time.
There's this one, she's blonde, she's real pretty, and she has short hair like me, and I don't know why. There's just something I feel like is the same between us.
Well, you may want to get a girl with long, pretty blonde hair, like your sister. Just think about her. The next time you're kind of aroused, think about your sister. That'll help you. And just don't touch yourself, okay?
Why does that feel wrong in my no-no place, Dad?
Because I don't really know which way up is down is because we've created such a fucked up world for you. So we're doing the best you can. You ever thought about the Air Force? Just think about the Air Force. Those long, tight, white uniforms. Those beautiful, taut bodies. Those hats.
Dad, I'm looking at that knothole in that tree stump, and I'm thinking of stuff right now. We probably better get back to work.
Shoes shine. Where was I?
Dad, give me the saw. I got to get out of energy.
Anyway, this is just pillow talk. Let's go back to work.
And scene.
I learned a lot about.
You know what? That was. We've had some scenes, and
who knew that Papa Plath described ejaculation as two lizards running around in your stomach? I didn't.
And now I just want to watch Gilmore Girls.
Good idea.
Good idea.
It's dark in my house. I had to
So
turn
y'all,
on the light.
that doesn't really go well, and it's honestly, I know it. look, I know we should give slack a little bit, but I can't. Yes, all parents should be. I know it's hard to have the sex talk with your kids, but this is kind of how I feel about that. If you're horribly inequipped to talk to your kids about sex, or you don't want to, don't have a kid. Or I feel like it's your responsibility to figure that out.
Or send them to school to let them,
If you aren't comfortable, send them to a place where, or have a family member or someone you know that would give good information.
Have a registered nurse come by, because y'all, registered nurses are the most sexually just
my sister-in-law. She would say, "Do you know about raw dogging?
They will.
Do you know about finger banging?"
Nurses are very sexually inappropriate, and I love them for it. But damn, sit next to a nurse, you'll get a fucking earful. All of our nurses will agree.
That reminds me of my sister-in-law. Y'all, my sister-in-law, she's doing okay, but she has COVID right now. So, and she's a nurse in the health department. So prayers for her.
Family of COVID.
All of them, because it's Oklahoma. But all of them have been okay. But
prayers up.
You know, y'all, because I talked about my cousin Lolo, my crazy Plath, my cousins that are kind of Plath. They're two kind of second cousins that are married. But she said, my sister-in-law texted me and said, "So I was listening to your podcast on Plathville on the way home." And she's like, y'all were talking. Yeah, she said, you were talking about I'm not going to say their name, but the crazy family of ours. And she said, "Do you remember when they completely isolated and outcast their cousin who was like one of their cousins, because she told them she was a lesbian and had a girlfriend?" She said, "I still bring it up to your brother about how disgusting that was. They dropped her like she never existed. Then all of a sudden she's back, has a boyfriend, got married, and bam, she's part of the family. But let me tell you, she's a different person and so visibly sad."
Oh, that's so sad.
I'm telling you, but this reminded me of, and we'll talk about this more with Moriah, just y'all think about this. Two parents told their 17-year-old daughter, who had just turned 17, that she was living a lifestyle and had to leave their house.
It's pretty awful.
Yeah, that's gross.
Not because it was bad for her, but because she thought that it would rub off on the younger children who she can still control.
That she was already, that like the Moriah was already bad. And Moriah, if you're listening to this show, because I feel like you might, I just want to let you know,
we love
honey,
you.
There is nothing wrong with you. There's nothing sinful about you. There's nothing that you have done wrong.
Except maybe your clothes. But you know what?
She is learning. Poodle. I cannot say that. You cannot say that, because I knew you when you were in your mid-20s, and there was not a T-shirt you wore that didn't show off your tits when you raised your hands.
I know, and I'm saying you have to learn. She'll learn later.
You have to learn.
So let's move on to Ethan and Olivia. And they are, and Ethan is coming.
Jackie Wiseman was not happy with Olivia this episode.
Well, this is the first episode where Olivia has been kind of not in her own. I feel like this was not the time to get Olivia when they were filming this episode, because she looked like she'd been up all night.
Yeah, she looked tired.
So he's like, "Where's breakfast?" So assuming she makes all of his food, and she's like, "I made coffee." So she's been working on her website, because all of her gigs were canceled because of COVID, you guys.
That sucks. It
This
sucks.
was probably filmed, I'm guessing, April, May, maybe June. Probably
May, June. Her busiest time.
Yeah. And so she's stressed, and she's like, "I don't really feel like making breakfast today," to him. And he's like, "Well, I've never made breakfast before. I guess I'll learn how to do that."
He really kind of is the preacher from The Simpsons.
I really no, that's not the preacher from Simpsons.
Not the preacher, Ned Flanders.
That's not Ned Flanders. I can't talk. It's kind of like Teeth Stick.
No, but I mean the way he acts is a little bit like, "Oh well, let me just make pancakes, friend."
Oh, like howdy doody there. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
It really is what I liked. By the way, I mean, we were talking about this texting, but we didn't say on the air. I don't know if this show is just super, super so heavily produced that we don't realize it and it feels not produced, or if it's just the circumstances of this family. But this show is like one of the best done reality shows I think we've watched.
I agree, and I'm not sure if it's super produced. I think they would have a hard time being good enough, especially Olivia and Ethan would be hard enough time being good enough actors.
That's what I think too, but it's such a beautiful, I hate that they're fighting, but it's like, you guys, literally, and as Ethan says, he's never had to deal with emotions because his family, that is something that I think a lot of friends that I know that are Mormon deal with.
Yeah.
That they sometimes, and I'm not saying all Mormons, but what they, at least in the friends that I know, came from a very religious Mormon background. Like, when you're sad, you pray it away. When you're mad, you pray it away. And you kind of actually never, though, deal with feelings in the real world. And here, it's not even like Olivia has a lot of stress, but it's not even like this is this horrible thing, but you can tell Ethan is kind of like paralyzed by it and really doesn't know what to do. Well,
and to make your comparison to LDS Church, it's interesting because you're taught to remember you're think of things you're grateful for. You're happy, you have your family, you shouldn't be sad.
God provides.
Yeah, and it's this kind of it is a negation of some emotions. You're exactly right. And Ethan, there was never why would they ever feel sad? Someone like Moriah felt sad, and there was no outlet for that.
Yes.
So, anyway,
it's so ironic to me because if we think about it, if God gives you joy, God gives you despair. Like, all these things are part of, if you believe that, all these things are part of the human experience. So maybe there is something spiritual about sadness.
I'm going to say something. Well, it's actually not that controversial. Here's why we don't press that much in despair in Christianity. You're not a productive society member when you're despairing.
When you're depressed, you're not working and you're not having them babies and getting them out for the crusade, y'all.
Well, even that, you're not being a productive worker. You're not being, that's the kind of Christian political sociological system. That's
true. That's very true.
One of the reasons we don't focus on it. And also, the more you can lean into despair, the more you might start to question why things are the way they are in the Bible when you're not happy. God, that was
somebody's really upset about that and honked their horn at it.
Heathen!
Sacrilege!
It is. I literally have one window, and it's way over there.
You know what? Maybe that was God. We need to stop talking about this and move the fuck on.
Let's move on.
Y'all. He's trying to make pancakes. It's going really bad.
He's never made any meals before.
And he keeps asking her questions when she's trying to do something.
She's about to lose her shit.
And
this is what happens when Maddie's in the kitchen with me. When he's asking me a ton of questions.
I was about to say maybe or maybe not. I relate to this of when we were roommates.
He asked me 1,000 fucking questions. And she even says Ethan's not very skilled at reading a room, and he's not because he's never had to.
He never was in the fucking room. Anyway, y'all think about this. He didn't even know what a period was until he married his wife. You guys. Till he was 20 years old, he did not know what a period was.
But that's how kind of sex ignorant these kids are. Because in one way, both Mama Plath and Papa Plath see sex as dirty. And this is why Moriah has kind of gone, not really, she's not even that much a rebeller. That's the thing. She's not even going that crazy. If it was, I would have been Moriah. I would have been fucking guys riding dick every day.
Oh, for sure. But you know what? Because really, something that's really beautiful about, except the parents, all the kids are really good people.
Mm-hmm.
Are really turning. I hope one of those little girls is just a fucking dick. She's just lighting everything up.
Or just like a bull dyke lesbian.
Yeah, yes.
Her head at 8.
Yes.
Yeah, I wish. So Olivia.
She's out there smoking at the family reunion.
Playing Indigo Girls songs.
Yeah, just looking at Moriah and was like, yeah, who's a bad bitch now, sis?
Black velvet and that little boy smile.
Mississippi.
Anyway, so she's been cooped up. I can understand why Olivia is upset. I understand why Jackie, or if you watched the show for the first time, why Olivia could have seemed that she was being mean to him.
It seems like she was being, I can see why it seemed like she was being over dramatic, but I think we forget, because she was raised in a conservative house too. You guys, they are both 22 years old, living in their own house, working as adults, and trying to function and run their own business, and run her own business
during COVID.
Imagine when you're watching this, how you were when you were 22 years old.
Yep.
I mean, I didn't know what I was going to do when I was 22 years old. We were teaching at fucking summer camp when we were 22 years old.
And I think there's a lot of pressure on both of them, especially pressure with the family. She doesn't deal with it as well as Ethan does, because he doesn't engage. She actually does know her own emotions. I think she's not only holding her emotions, she's holding Ethan's emotions. Yeah, probably.
She loves him, and she's holding all that for him, and so it is just overwhelming, and she needs him to share that.
We do see that she tells him, my period started, I don't feel like I'm going to get bloated with carbs. Y'all, we've all seen women do that because their periods are making them, it's like they're making them crazy inside. That's just hormonal.
And we're not saying all women are like that in their period, but we're saying that where some people are like, oh, I hate it when women say they're hormonal. But if you're a woman and you feel like it makes you crazy, yeah, you own that, whatever you want. But yes.
So he's saying, I'm sorry, I wasn't taught to communicate. I wasn't. And he did the perfect thing. He literally just hugged her and said, I'm sorry, you're having a bad day. And that was it. And she's like, I'm so glad he did that.
And he also said, I'm sorry that I'm doing things to annoy you.
Yeah. That's the best thing to do.
Unless it's to Poodle, because I said that once and he threw a pan at me and said, get out. So that's how that day ended.
It's better not to touch me when I'm in that kind of
place.
I might lose a hand.
He looks like that, he looks like that thing in the Upside World in Stranger Things. Just like this, like a fucked up lotus leaf, flower.
It's better to tell me soothing things and say you're sorry.
You know what it's better to do? It's say, Poodle, here, I fixed you a drink. And then suddenly he goes,
and then you can pet me. Then only can you pet me.
Yes.
Like Gizmo.
Yes. But don't fuck Poodle after midnight. It makes him a gremlin. It's not water, y'all. It's semen that does the trick.
Don't get him wet. So they kind of wound up. Let's see. The last little bit is Ethan is talking about a motorcycle he found in a junkyard. This was such a sweet scene.
It really was.
I mean, if Ethan is acting this, and now maybe they're coaching him, but if he is acting this, he needs some kind of Emmy, because
agreed.
It was done in such a way. I'm sure they have a great line producer who's talking through all this with them, and a great someone on the ground who's really helping them.
What I loved about it too is that a lot of men don't talk about and go through their feelings in this way. And I think a lot of times women think men aren't dealing with things, but they don't realize that was my father. He never talked about things, but when he was upset, what did he do? He would go out and work. And the act of working and moving his body, as we've learned in that Burnout podcast from Brene Brown, was a way of kind of completing that emotional feeling and getting through that, or getting past that. And I think a lot of women think that men are avoiding. I don't know so much as they're avoiding things, if they're working through it in a different way. So like, y'all, if your husband or boyfriend doesn't talk to you about an emotion, but he likes to go outside and, I don't know, and
work on cars or
work on trucks. Maybe you could say, hey, why don't you go work on your truck for about 10 minutes? And maybe y'all can talk a little bit while he's working. Maybe that's a good place. I don't know.
Leave him alone when he's doing that.
Or maybe
let him do it for like 20, 30 minutes, then come back inside.
But maybe you could go out there and say, hey, can you hand me, he says, can you hand me that wrench? And you say, sure. And you go and you get the wrench, and then you put your semi-soft dick in his hand, and he says, that's not a wrench. And I'll say, well, it can screw.
I think you
Where are we?
inserted yourself.
Where are we?
Something else.
What's happening?
Anyway, so Ethan is like fixing a motorcycle, and the guy said, you can have it free if you get it running. And he's like working on cars and Escape, because when it's fixed, it's fixed. I wish I knew how to fix my relationship with Olivia, and it was that easy. And it's a beautiful thing and a beautiful metaphor, even though it's very simple. He's like, I wish I was good at fixing things like, and he's like, Olivia's really hurt. Still no contact with their parents. And he said, I just wish Olivia came with an instruction manual. And because that's how he understands the world. He's a mechanical person. It was a sweet moment.
I wish Poodle Boudreaux came with an instruction manual.
It'd be in Chinese and German.
It'd be, you know what? Your instruction manual is the IKEA of emotional manuals. You're lurking. Okay, let's move on to
Moriah. We're going to talk about Moriah, which I have been corrected, or not really. People explained that the reason why it's spelled this way is that it was Mount Moriah, where Abraham went to sacrifice Isaac. You don't know who these people are, do you?
Bible people. Bible people.
Y'all, if you're Catholic and know anything of the Bible, I want you to come at us, because every Catholic I've ever known knows. Me raised combination of Baptist and Methodist. I know because of tons and tons of Sunday school.
I don't think we need to know the Bible that well to be.
But I think Protestants are brought up that you study the Bible because it is the one book.
I know. I'm just saying. Yeah, I don't subscribe to that. Well, I'm not even Christian.
The only reason you need to know the Bible is so many illusions come from it in our normal society.
I agree with that. Yeah,
and in a way, the Bible is a storybook, and that teaches both ethics and whatever morality you want to have.
So does Harry Potter.
Maybe you're right. So that's Mount Moriah, when Abraham was told by God to sacrifice his son Isaac, and he went up there and he was like, "I'm going to do it, God. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. You're not going to stop me." But it's always been a really cruel story for me, like a lot of Old Testament stories.
Yes,
where God says, "I need you to kill your own son for me." Very cult leader. And so he's about to do it. Finally, when he's got the resolve, I'm going to kill my son for God. And God stops his hand and says, no, you will not kill. You will slaughter this goat or this animal instead of your son. And I guess everything's okay.
See, I just don't see love in that, but that's not for me to say.
But no, I didn't love it either. I'm saying it's just interesting to know what's there.
I mean, just getting through the genealogy is ridiculous.
Oh, we skipped all those.
So anyway, y'all. So Moriah is where's she started? Oh, she's on a date. Well, no. I'm sorry. She has dinner with Lydia.
Comes over. Lydia.
Kim brings over Lydia, y'all, and because Lydia can't drive yet, I guess. And they walk in.
I think she can drive, but she had a purpose. Her learner's
permit. And so Moriah's getting stuff ready, and Kim brings her a book about fashion.
I guarantee you this was 30 years old, and it's probably like Halston.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
She got it at the Goodwill store.
She got it at the Goodwill. Yep. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I saw this book. Thought it'd be good for you. Remember, y'all. Remember in the first season, Moriah says, quote, I hate to read.
That's right. I don't like rules. I hate to read.
So Moriah's never going to read this book, y'all.
No.
101 Kim, 101. But anyway, maybe it's nice that she tries. So Moriah totally makes cereal for dinner, and I actually
cereal in the bowls.
I totally believe she had made cereal for dinner. She totally got me with this. And Lydia's like about to pour cereal for dinner, and Moriah's cracking up. And actually, y'all, she made steak and macaroni and cheese.
It was boxed macaroni and cheese, but she still made steak and salad. I mean, put in the oven. So,
but she was 17 years old and did this.
I wouldn't have been able to do that.
I could make hamburger helper, and that's it. Not a steak.
My mother never let us have hamburger helper.
No.
She's like, who would want to do that?
Well, your mom wasn't a single mom working 10 hours a day and could afford just, $100 a week to feed her and her son.
You're not going to shame mother.
So, she had to do what she had to do.
Well, I cooked too, but my mom would tell me what to cook or I would look it up.
But your mother got embarrassed when you cooked because she realized you were just gay. Because you're like, Mom, I'm making this. I figured out how to make a white sauce. She said,
I'm a better cook than she is. I'll say that now.
Would you say that to her face?
No.
Yeah.
You know what? She'd probably admit it. Sadly.
Then she'd look at you and say, who makes better biscuits?
She makes better biscuits. There are certain things my mother makes better than me. Definitely.
It's because she won't tell him how she makes them.
No, she won't. She's done that before. She's left something out. My grandmother used to do that. My grandmother, no one knows still how to make my grandmother's pound cake. She took the real recipe to her grave. She wrote it down for someone and it still doesn't taste the same. Bitch left out like 2 things. That's called passive aggression from the grave.
It's true.
I get it. Uh-oh, don't pull over, y'all. God, it's loud in Los Angeles at 5:45 or 4:45. So they're talking and she's saying, Moriah says to Lydia, so anything about your love life? What about that guy? And she's basically says, well, there's something I want you to tell them. You know him. And at that point, Moriah went, oh, and she almost teared up. And it was so sweet. She's like, this is the same guy she met when she was 13. And it's like,
it was a very sweet moment on Moriah's part. However, y'all, I'm scared that Lydia's in love with a mannequin. Like, is this even real? Like, it's been
the world.
It's been 2 years now. She hasn't really talked to the guy. This, as a therapist, like that mind, I'm going, this is just fantasy love. This isn't going to end well. I'm worried for her. I'm worried about Lydia's already writing her prayers on the wall to the man in the moon and God. Like, it's just, y'all, this is, I love being out.
I did hear, or Bill Bulwer actually said there's a rumor going around that it's actually Olivia's brother. Wouldn't that drive Mama Plath nuts?
Oh my God.
Yes. I kind of lost my shit. I wrote, stop.
Wow.
That would be perfect. Because their families have known each other.
They have. That's true. And they met. So maybe that's it.
Yeah. And it's been 2 years. So maybe the last time she met him was at
oh my God, Olivia and the wedding. We just solved the mystery.
I think we had help from Bill Bulwer, but that's okay.
Poodle, poodle, do. Where are you? Poodle, poodle.
Got dick to suck now.
Come on, poodle, do. I see you. You chasing that big dick now. You know you got a slutty ass and you just went it in your back. Oh, yeah. Give him sass. And a poodle do, if you come through, you're gonna have yourself a cummy snack. Don't hold back. Poodle, poodle do. Where you're fucking who? Poodle, poodle do. You're a slut.
Well done. Well done. You know, Scooby-Doo was my favorite show as a child.
Well, we just ruined it. Someone literally is going to watch Scooby-Doo with their kids and just be going, poodle, doodle, poodle, doo, where are you?
You're fucking good.
Put that on the musical episode.
Have yourself a cummy snack. Oh, God. What'd you say, Dad?
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry, Mom.
Watch your cartoons, Robert. Anyway.
Don't bother mom.
So anyway, y'all, so it really, her reaction, what I love is that, again, I love that they're two sisters who are completely different and should be like so many shows and so many things would put them at odds and have them fight and have them undercut each other and be competitive. Right. And I love that they're so different, but they both just love one another.
Yeah, it's true.
It's really, really wonderful.
Yeah. I love their relationship. I love both of them.
This season, I need Lydia to get a makeover because her hair is so frizzy.
So bad.
It's so bad.
I think they only have like Head and Shoulders or Prel at home.
Yes. Yeah. They don't use herbal essence because those commercials were too sexual.
Mama
Kim looks at Barry in the night. She's like, honey, I just used my herbal essence. And he goes, oh.
Yeah, they would. They'd use it for themselves.
Yes, they would.
So Moriah, y'all, is going on her first date. Now, I would say it's probably her first official date because she's definitely met up with some boys.
We find out she knows this guy. Like, they have gone out, but this is the first, like, proper someone comes over and picks her up on a date.
And, you know, I know we need to let her choose. These outfits are questionable. These boots.
She really likes neon colors.
It looks like she's roller derbying.
It always does look like she's going to roller derby.
Going to roller derby team.
Like, I just want to see Moriah in navy.
Never. So she.
But her hair was cute and her makeup was cute.
And she said, you know, with my family before, it was kind of like we had to pick our guy from a distance, and then we could only get close to them. There was no dating. So he shows up, you guys, this guy. He's on a road. Can you be a little more anticlimactic? We don't even know his name yet. How dare you? We don't even see his face. Where is your flair for the dramatic?
Sorry.
Honestly. The show did such a good job of setting him up.
They did.
His face. Doing that, and you just blurt out. You're awful. So just let me handle all the climactic things. So,
which is what he usually says in bed.
Handle the climaxes. Don't touch it. I got it handled. So he's like, here, safety first. He's a tall boy. He gives her helmet and I've ridden on the back of a motorcycle before. I dated a guy exclusively because he had a motorcycle, and I felt so cool. This is probably when I'd been in Los Angeles maybe 2 or 3 years. Remember the guy who drove a motorcycle?
No, I didn't know. I wouldn't let you date him if I knew that.
He had a helmet.
No, it's not if, it's when you have a wreck.
He worked for Car Driver, one of the auto magazines. I met him at a party for a friend of mine. It was his birthday party, and he was a guest. He lived a couple doors down. So I just kind of grabbed him halfway through the party and took him back to his place because I'm a slut.
Yeah, well,
and we dated for a while. It was a lovely 5 or 6 weeks, maybe 3 or 4.
Where is he now?
I don't know. We don't follow each other. Anyway, so she's like, motorcycles make me feel free. I'm like, me too, girl. Motorcycles make me feel engorged.
Terrifying to me.
So anyway, he takes off his helmet. We see him walk in.
Well, they go to a diner.
And he's hot, y'all. Now, before you ask, we have checked. He is legal. He's name is
19.
Max Collenschmidt. I've looked him up.
Y'all, he's 19. He's beautiful. And it's huge.
It's huge.
It's huge.
Big. It's big.
It's like,
it is a pendulous dong.
It is a pendulous dong.
Just swinging there in the breeze.
Mariah doesn't know what she got herself into.
Catching the sunlight.
You know, in the words of Whoopi Goldberg, you in danger, girl.
Yeah, it's going to be, if that's going to be your first, you're going to be ruined for the rest of your life.
Just stay with him forever. So, but
Mac,
they have
so cute.
So they have this beautiful date at this little diner. And again, I'm like, either this cannot be real because this is so perfectly scripted, or it's just so perfect. It's
this
so well done.
It's a little scripted because he's done some social media stuff before. Like he's got a social media presence. So he goes to school to community college.
Poodle, did 90 Day Gays follow him today at all?
Immediately.
Jesus.
There's a lot of shirtlessness. There's a lot of pictures of him like with the fish he's caught too.
He's very buff.
He's hot. He's got a hot body.
Let's be honest. I went to his Instagram and Poodle had already followed him for us. But I looked too.
It's true. I did.
His body's like Micah ripped.
Yeah, it is. They're going to get along real well. Maybe too well.
Ooh, maybe too well. No, don't do that to Moriah. I love
Never
her.
Had I ever. So he's like, I like to get messy on dates. It's like, I'm going to eat this and have blueberry on my teeth. I like a goofy guy like that. So he's like, immediately we jump in. Tell me about you moving out. She's like, I felt I was being judged by my family the whole time, and I didn't like it, and I felt gross, and I knew that I wasn't in the world. And that's such a beautiful saying that. God, I love Moriah, y'all. I'm a huge fan of hers.
I love her too, because really the way she said that, she wasn't, think about really not being the world. And so she's like, I'm scared to tell him about the past, because what if this idea of, she's like, I'm trying to learn on my own, but what if I'm learning is wrong?
Right.
It's like the thing about, I think that's so, I just hit it. What's so kind of beautiful about all these Plath kids, they weren't actually in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't know about a lot of like sexual things. However, though, they don't have the filter. They don't have the filter of, you don't say that. And they say what we're all thinking of. What if I'm in the world and I do this at my job. I don't know what I'm doing at my job, but what if I'm doing wrong? I don't know how to be a mom, but I'm trying to be a good mom. But what if I'm wrong? That's such a human statement that is never said aloud.
Basically, she tells him that my parents are very religious. I have 8 siblings. And he's like, me too. And I went, oh. And so anyway, she's like, I started sneaking out all the time because I couldn't date. And the night that I was caught, the night I met you, was the night that my mother said, you have to leave. You have to move out because you're not listening to me, and you need to move out of our house because you're a bad example for our younger kids, which is so awful.
It's horrible. It's horrible. And then Max says, but you can't tame a wild horse. You have to run at the same pace as it does and guide it in that direction.
Max, date me.
She's a wild one running free.
The idea of a 42-year-old gay man dating that. He's like, wait, who are you?
Who are you?
Where you live? I like girls. I'm like, but I mean, and he's like, you're creepy. That's what he would say.
They're still together, I think. At least on Instagram, they look like they're together.
They are. Yeah, they're still dating, I believe.
Y'all, and she's going to love him for a long time because that's the first guy she ever boned.
A big penis.
Yeah, who's beautiful.
It's a pendulous dong.
A pendulous dong.
So she even says, I've never had someone make me feel accepted. And even though it's a huge gamble in my heart, Moriah, you're going to be okay. They called the wind Moriah. They call my soul Moriah.
She is going to be okay.
Anyway, that's the show.
I love this show. It's so much fun to watch. It actually makes me think about my life.
Think about your life. Think about the dreams you had. It's a good show.
Poodle, poodle, do. You fucked who? Y'all, that was dick.
There's a dick in my butt.
A poodle snack is not the same as a Scooby snack, y'all. No.
Don't take a poodle snack if offered one at a party.
No, you won't remember the next week. Y'all, come at us. Follow us at 90 Day Gays on Instagram and Twitter, but only for a little while, because you guys come name us. We're changing the name of our show. you've talked about. Discovery is making us change the name of our show. So you can enter. There's this thing in the show notes. A couple of you emailed us and said, I couldn't find the link. The link's right in the show notes of the show. It says help name us in all caps. Just click on it and you'll be sent to a Google Doc and you can submit your proposed name for the show. And if you win, we're going to fly you out to a live show. You can bring your guests to live in the continental U.S. We'll pay for your plane ticket and it'll be a good time when we start having live shows again.
Yeah, it's basically, if this will all come to me to say no. If you start having a lot of crazy requests, I'll be the heavy. I'll say, nope, not going to do it.
Not going to do it. Not going to do it.
Play your cards right. If you live in like Sioux City, Iowa, we'll fly you out. We won't fly out your friend. I don't care how broke they are. We're giving you 2 fucking tickets. Find a bed to sleep on. That's what I do when I go to a city.
Anyway, you can also, y'all, come and set up Cameo. Poodle's at Jake It or Fake It. I'm at the Matt Mar, 2 T's, 2 R's. And Instagram and Twitter is at 90 Day Gays. I know Christine is going to make a funny meme about this episode.
Oh, God, please let it be about that.
She makes such good memes, y'all. She makes such good. We love her so much. Shout out again to our Facebook moderators. Join us in the Facebook group, Sissy Squad. We have a lot of fun in there.
We have fun in there.
Oh, and y'all been coming at merch. I guess the merch is maybe on sale again.
Merch is on sale, not sell. You say sale like
it's sale. It's on sale. Anything else going on with merch on Black Friday, Poodle?
Poodle Home Collection coming Black Friday of next week. I'm having all types of ideas. I've got pieces of paper spread out all over my apartment, designs for things.
You are not freaking Christian Siriano.
If Kathy Ireland could design a couch, can I.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
If she can have a home collection at Kmart, I can be at TeePublic.
Anyway, and he's going to be, y'all. So the Poodle Home Collection coming on Black Friday exclusively.
Pillows, wall hangings. You can even put them on T-shirts, mugs, lots of home goods.
That's the thing with TeePublic. You actually choose the design, and you can put it on whatever you want.
I'm focusing on mostly home goods, although T-shirts will be available.
We can. Yeah. Anyway, y'all, that's the way it goes. Last but not least, leave a review. We love nothing more than a 5-star review that says
anything. If you want to leave us a Civil War letter, but just at least keep going, Queens.
At least that. So, Poodle, this was wonderful. Hey, I'm
fun this time.
I'm gonna see you in like 2 days. It's gonna be back in LA.
Yeah. I'm sounding like Smith when you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get married.
Yeah, Smith, we can get married today. Okay.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. Great. All right, everybody, be sure to join us. We're going to have, we've got Life After Lockup coming this week.
And also Friday of this week.
Yes, and for our Patreons, we're going to have a special episode on Thursday that drops with we had a lot of fun with Cray Cray doing this crossover.
The episode was long. But
it was long because we just talked to each other so long.
And we talk about 90 days for the first 45 minutes. Then the part about Love After Lockup is going to be on our Patreon. So,
there you go.
All right, guys.
All right, y'all.
Plath until next Plath.
We got to have a sign up. What is this? I don't know.
How about Poodle Doodle Doo?
Zoink. Bye, y'all.